Yes, I'm telling you, that intro gets me going every time. Fired up on a Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, live from Long Island, Strong Island, New York. New York, New York. The city's so nice they named it twice. And we have a special one today, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very special one. Sponsored here by FSX Marketplace. We're going to be speaking today with Matt Jaffee, a young, high-energy entrepreneur, focused experience in food service. You know, he's the executive chairman and co-founder of the Food Service Exchange. And, I think this is going to be an interesting one. I think they have a good story. I think they're looking to help customers, help end users. And I think the conversation is going to be great. So pay attention. Let's get some questions locked and loaded so we can have a nice, beautiful conversation here. We're gonna dive right in. So I'm gonna let Matt give a little more insight into himself. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Matt Jaffee. Matt, good morning, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I live up to the hype of the high energy. I'll try.
You listen. You're good. You're good to go. So let's give a little insight, a little background into you, and let Fed Nation and the world know.
Yeah, for sure. So my family's background is food service through and through. Both my grandfathers started their career and ended their career in the food service industry. One made wire shelving, and the other made vinyl table coverings. And he claims his claim to fame is that industry went away basically when he retired. He was the only guy pushing the product. And then since then, my dad's been in it. He's been active on boards of companies. He was the two-time president of NAFM. One of my grandfathers was the president of NAFM as well. Has been operator, executive in a number of capacities across the equipment and supply space.
Wow. So you have a history with your family in the industry.
Yep.
Yeah. And where are you out of right now? Where are you located?
I am in Chicago, Illinois.
One of my favorite cities. I can't wait for NRA to come back.
Yes.
Missed it the last 2 years. I got to get back to Chicago. But listen, let's talk about FSX Market. When was this company founded during the pandemic?
So the company was founded just prior to the pandemic.
Okay.
Launched at the phenomenal timing of March 2020. And the idea for FSX was based on our experience on the manufacturer side of the industry, realizing that there was a void in servicing closeout inventory. Back in the day, New York had the Bowery, Chicago had Madison Street. Every city kind of had the street full of cash and carry stores, and those guys are gone. Bowery's full of bougie restaurants now, and cash and carry stores are gone. So there's a void in servicing those closeouts, the overstock, discontinued, scratch and dent, and manufacturers are left with really going to the liquidators or letting it just sit in the corner of their warehouse, and restaurants are unable to access that inventory now. So we came up with the idea of what if we could just connect the manufacturers or dealers direct with the restaurants or other food service consumers so they can access that hard to find equipment at great discount. So by doing that, our discounts on our site average 44%. You get stuff up to 70, 90% off. And we only work with quality sellers. So everything has a warranty, everything has free shipping, really strong customer service on our side and from the manufacturer side. So we're really focused on creating a good, trusted experience for the restaurants or other consumers.
Yeah, and I see the strong partners you have. I see Trimark and Hashizaki, Metro. So you're partnering. So the audience and we all can understand. So you're partnering direct with them.
Yes.
And you're like you talk about the scratch and dents. Is what else could it be? It's just those types of things, or what else could it be that fall in those lines? And how are you making these connections? You're picking up the phone, you're calling, saying, listen, we got FX Market. We have a way to help get rid of that equipment and get it out into the field to these end users that desperately need this equipment. Yeah.
So types of equipment that you'll find on our site, overstock. So you made too many, and that's really more relevant in the small wares. They bring in an order for PF Chang's of a bunch of plates. PF Chang says we don't need all those plates. That stuff sits in the warehouse. So if we provide access to overstock, discontinued, there's a name change, or like the new iPhone coming out, and there's a bunch of iPhones sitting there. The same thing happens in food service. So we can provide access to those discontinued products, still work, but maybe a year old. Scratch and dent, which is stuff that just gets beat up in either in shipping or just sitting in the warehouse. And then the last is refurbished. So refurbished is kind of split into two categories. One is manufacturer refurbished. They send something out to a job site. There's some issues, and something gets beat up in shipping or in delivery. They send it back and they make any changes that need to be made to make it saleable again. The other option is we're working with refurbishers. So guys who buy restaurants as they go out of business, and they actually have a process in place where they bring in the product, they run diagnostics, they clean it, they make maintenance repairs, they palletize it, and they ship it back out again. And that's another segment of refurbish that we're focused on, and really playing off of the pre-owned equipment, but really high quality stuff where we can go out and certify that these guys actually have a process in place and still wrap it with the warranty.
Perfect. So this equipment that you have, are you guys drop shipping? Are you stocking stuff?
Yeah. So all today, what we're doing is drop shipping. So you come to our site, you make a purchase of a Hoshizaki ice machine. Let's go with Hoshizaki will ship that item. It's sitting in their warehouse. So yeah, it's an interesting time in the industry, and in every industry right now. If you're buying a car or really a car, food service, whatever it is, there's a shortage of equipment. So one of the things that makes us interesting is the equipment's actually sitting in the warehouse. So if you make a Hoshizaki ice machine purchase, it's sitting in the warehouse ready to ship and will be shipped in 5 to 10 days. There's no 28-day lead times or any of those concerns that's in the industry right now. This is stuff sitting in the warehouse ready to go.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, we're definitely seeing it. I just had someone reach out. I probably have to check your site after this. I just had someone reach out for a merchandiser, 16-week lead time.
Yep.
You know, and we're seeing that across the industry and a lot of different manufacturers, and even on the parts side. I mean, we have people waiting for parts for months already.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, this is definitely something I think that, you know, if you're out there, you're watching, you know, service companies, reps, dealer, whoever you are, you know, sometimes you just got to get our customers up and running. And if there's you know, equipment on this site, it might not even be the same spec, the same thing. You know, if I go look, it might not be exactly the same, but you know what? It might be something that the customer could use.
Right. If you could save 40%, 50%, it could be worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a service guy, and you know, there's always a lot of talk about buying stuff online, and it's not that necessarily it's frowned upon from a service company. It's just that the end user sometimes. And are we good?
Yeah, it went in and out for a second.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the end user's doing the buying on the other side of that monitor, and they don't always know what they're buying. They think they're buying something that's, I have a steamer, and this looks apples to apples. We love to hear apples to apples because it's never apples to apples when we get there. But that's kind of the thing that, you know, we see horror stories from. So, you know, when you're looking at FSX and with your team and what you have going on there, are you speaking to are the end users reaching out? Are you having conversations with them?
Yeah. So a couple things there. So one, on the customer side, we decided to build FSX around a best-in-class customer service team. Not when you're online and you make a request and 3 days later you get a response and you go back and forth. We have a team. The face of the team is Tony Smith. You go on the site. She'll be reaching out to you before you even have the chance to reach out to her. And we realize that that's very important. When a restaurant owner is online making a purchase of a few $1,000s, they deserve to be able to spend 2 hours, an hour, whatever it is, which is common in our business, on the phone with Tony, asking questions, making sure that it's the right voltage, watts, size, spec, ice cube size, ice cube type, whatever it is. We want to make sure that customer service is never a bottleneck, and that's actually a surplus in our business, and we will always be available to answer questions and spend however long the restaurant operator needs on the phone to get comfortable to make sure that it's the right item. The other thing is, since we're working with real industry sellers, it's not a guy out of his garage. There's spec sheets, and the product that's promised on the spec sheet is the product you are getting. We know the industry. We've been in the industry for 60 to 70 years. These manufacturers know the industry. They understand what people need. So we think that there's consistency there, and it's not the eBay experience where they said it was X, but it was really Y, and he didn't know that there was a difference between X and Y. Everyone in the supply chain of FSX understands X is X and Y is Y.
Yeah, and that's so important. Again, from the service, we're here in the trenches with these customers when that equipment arrives, and I can't tell you how many times we've got the site where a customer ordered the wrong voltage, or the wrong gas type. There's just all these little things that when someone's online shopping, they need that expertise. And a lot of times you see it lost in a lot of these online stores.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I mean, I think we do a really good job at it, but obviously we're not perfect. And I could think of probably 2 or 3 examples of what you're talking about where that happened, where the customer didn't realize that he needed to pay attention to this certain dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
And Tony gets on the phone, talks with the manufacturer, spends hours on the phone. She solves every problem. And the manufacturer works alongside us to do what's right because they're industry players. They're not a random person selling out of their garage. Like I said, they care about having us happy, FSX, and having the customer happy. So I think it's important for them to solve every problem, even though everything might not go perfectly.
Yeah, and that's I think a key thing here. The manufacturer is behind it, or like Trimark, probably the biggest dealer in the industry. They're behind it. When you have people standing behind things, that's important. Even again, back to service, it's just what I know. We stand behind every job. We stand behind every part we install. The labor, if it ain't right, because we're not perfect either. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going away. We'll come right back. We'll do what we got to do. We'll fix it. We'll make it right. So, I think that's important for anyone watching right now or on the replay. You're going to have Matt, you have Tony, you're going to have people, real people working with these manufacturers and these dealers and these distributors that care about the product. They care about the customer. They care about the name, the reputation, because that's what it's all about. That's all we have, right? We have our word, we have our brands, we have to stand behind what we believe in. So,
and in this industry, that's for sure. It's not that big of an industry. You can't hide. So it's all about doing what's right, and you'll do well.
Yeah, and I had that conversation with a buddy of mine, Jeff Victory, some years ago. This is the biggest little industry he's ever been a part of, he said. And it's big, but it's not so big.
No,
we're all connected. We all know each other for the most part, and so we have to make sure we're doing the right thing all the time. Some other stuff that probably service related, but so when this equipment gets to the field, the customer, they're working with you. They got their combi oven, they got their steamer, they got their ice machine, whatever it might be. Now, let's say this customer maybe they don't have a relationship with a service company in their area. Are you guys connecting them with certified installers? Or because that's another horror story that we always come behind. We're factory authorized for a lot of manufacturers. We have the training, and a lot of times these people will order something and then they'll say, "Oh, I have a guy." Everyone's got a guy. Right. Here in New York, we got guys, right? They come and they install it. How are you guys? Are you connecting the dots?
Yeah. So we really haven't struggled too much in this sense, but we wanted to get ahead of it and make sure that everyone had a solution. So we do not have a solution for installations, but over the next few weeks, we're rolling out a partnership with a group called Rescue, which is effectively a marketplace that connects restaurants directly with maintenance providers. So they'll be accessible on our site to connect maintenance providers to do the installation and hopefully form a deeper partnership beyond that, but installation to get things started, which I think is very valuable to what we're doing.
Yeah. So ResQ. Now this is something that and I love talking about this stuff because it's stuff that I'm learning about. I wasn't familiar with ResQ until we talked. How did this partnership come about?
Just going out to they're a venture capital backed business. We're exploring different routes, raising money, and got connected with them, and they were very open minded. Wanted to do something, saw the value, and really what led us to see the value is when we built this thing, we thought our there's a void in servicing independent restaurants. That's going to be our customer base. we kind of fell into this business of realizing, wait, that we got a lot of really good business from maintenance providers, guys who go out to job sites. They've done 6 repairs on this ice machine, and they get to a point where they're like, all right, maybe it's time to buy a new ice machine rather than make the $1,000 repair. So they're making the purchase on behalf of the restaurant. And we realized these guys are really powerful buyers for us, and they're okay making a purchase at a discount because they can do the installation, if there's an issue that arises, they're the guy and they can do the work. So they've been a really good customer base for us, and that's kind of how we fell into this opportunity. So rescues providers will be purchasing on our site, and when we're going to be partnering with rescue from a repair and installation perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that's good because the customer, and we see it too. They want to make educated decisions on the equipment, whether repair versus replace, and that data is not always readily available across the country from the people that they're working with. So
yeah, it's interesting. So you bring this up, rescue tracks that, so they barcode every item in the kitchen, and they effectively track the miles, similar to tracking miles on a car. The number of dollars that have been spent, the number of how long it's been sitting in the kitchen, the usage, etc. So they really know you've spent X amount of dollars on fixing this ice machine. You're probably at the point in time where you're better off buying a new one. So they're ahead of that curve in tracking that data.
Yeah, that's so important. Yeah, because these customers, again, the customer, they're busy running their business. We see it all the time, and even when you try and tell them, they're not hearing it. But when you have data and you can put it in front of them, it becomes real, and then they can make that decision. So super important. I wanted to talk a little bit too about this. Talking back to customer service, because I think the buyer support, the support staff that you have going on. So I know we talked about Tony. Who else is on the team? We got that's helping and supporting. And what are their roles? What are they doing?
Yeah, so there's really a team of 5 that works with both the sellers and the buyers, and they're kind of split. On the customer side, it's really Ray and Tony, and they work on behalf of the buyers. They're usually calling us, yelling at us to fix certain things because they represent the buyer, and that mentality has worked as we build the business. And they do so when you come to the site, they'll spend hours talking to you, making sure that the product that you think you want is the product that's on the site. And if you get to the point where it's not the product, they go out and they source product on behalf of the buyer. So they'll reach out to all the dealers in our community, manufacturers. If we don't have the exact item, they'll go find it for you. And we think that's very valuable as we scale this.
Yeah. No, it's super important. You have to be connected. That's why this whole media thing is so important. Just continuing to be connected with your community and your customers. And who is your customer base? Let's look at that. What are you seeing as far as your customers?
Yeah, so I talked about a little. We thought it was just going to be the mom and pop. That's where the void is. Those are the guys who really don't typically get the best attention from the dealer community. And as we've kind of built this out, we realized that there's a lot more. We've gotten chains. We've gotten McDonald's, who I didn't even know could purchase outside. McDonald's purchasing from us. Jimmy John purchasing. Panera. And then it's kind of moved across the spectrum to the mom and pops, and then even further down the spectrum to the food service consumers who are really in the void. So churches and synagogue. We'll go synagogues too. Country clubs. Retirement homes, etc. The guys who really aren't serviced at all, those have been great buyers for us. And then a little further down, there's been consumers and offices and whatnot. So we really run across the board, and we think that's something that makes us different from the more traditional dealers and the e-com based dealers.
Yeah. And, another thing that we find, because with the diverse customer base, for us here, sometimes we work with correctional facilities and schools and government. A lot of times we have to wait, they have to put a PO in and stuff like that. So as far as payment goes, most of these online places, you might have a hard time finding anyone that's going to not just take a credit card. How are you guys working with that?
Yeah. So right now it's PayPal or credit card. By the end of the year, hopefully, we'll have a buy now, pay later option, which is kind of the new hot thing across all of e-com. So that could be extended terms, or that could just be installment payments. But restaurants, there's no need for them to front up $10,000 if there's options to kind of smooth it out over a 6, 12, 18-month period.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I was just curious because I think that might be something interesting as time develops, because that could open doors. Correctional facilities and all these places. We're seeing so many, the hospitals we work with, and a lot of this stuff is POs, and you got to wait 30 days, 60 days. Sometimes it's tough, but that could open tremendous doors for FSX in all these healthcare facilities, because the equipment, I'm telling you, where we're seeing so much of it needs to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Tony. Tony's chiming in. Right,
as I told you before you can ask a question, she'll be reaching out.
Tony is there. She's on it. So make sure, listen, let's say it. If you have questions, Ray and Tony are available, 888-635-6552. And you can email help@fsxllc.com or chat. And you got live chat on the web.
Yep. And that's how she'll find you. Live chat.
We'll find you. That's right. We will find you. So what else is going on at FSX? What's anything else on the burner? Anything?
Yeah. So we talked about our core when we started this thing. The idea was closeouts, overstock, discontinued, scratch and dent, etc. Kind of expedited by COVID was this idea of pre-owned, and we knew supply chain issues were coming in the middle of this year. So that's kind of what brought us to realize this pre-owned opportunity is really interesting now. And as we got deeper into it, we realized it's here to stay. If we can work with like the top quality sellers, refurbishers, they do really good stuff. And we think that if you can come to the site, look at all the refurbished equipment and know all of it comes from quality refurbishers, and you don't have to kind of experience the eBay experience where some is good, some is bad, and you got to kind of play roulette. We're not like that. We go out and we're going to certify every one of the refurbishers on the site, meet face to face, meet with the technicians, know that they have a true process. So we'll be comfortable putting a warranty on everything. And then finally, over time, we think there's an opportunity to sell new equipment as well. We'll start to look to that in the next 6 to 12 months, probably. Could be sooner. But we think our differentiator, the thing that makes us different, the reason why maintenance providers and restaurants should come to us first, is this access to the certified pre-owned and closeout equipment, because it's really hard to access this equipment. And we're really the one source to access this equipment. Really strong discounts, 45%, free shipping always, and warranties on all products. What else could you ask for?
Yeah. What about the warranty? Is it 30, 90? Is it full warranties? How does that work?
So everything on the site is 90-day functional warranty at least. So that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes manufacturers and dealers like to be overachievers, so they do a little more. Some up to 5 years on parts and whatnot. So, but the minimum on our site, 90 days to make sure everything is up and running, that product actually works. It's everything you hope for, and functionality is all you wanted.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. And that's fair. And you're making me think, and I don't know if I'm off course here, but we over the years have we pull equipment out of locations from time to time over the years, whether it could be a slicer, it could be different things, and the customer's like, listen, I'm replacing it, just take it, throw it out, do whatever you want. I'm like, I could probably take this back to my office, with my technician, put whatever amount of labor in, put the motor that needed, we get the discounted pricing as ASAs. I could probably repair a slicer for that, maybe $300. I could still sell it for $700, whatever it might be.
Right.
I'm wondering if this has opened the doors for like other service companies watching right now, because a big reason I don't really do it too much is because I just don't have time after we do that. Now it just sits. I'm like, I can't market this. I'm running a service company. I'm running around. Is that something? So if you're talking about like servicers and people that are going to be refurbishing equipment, certified ASAs doing this, that could open up the door for services across the country. I got Chris Rowling watching, who's doing a lot of ice machines and things, where he could start refurbishing stuff. We could talk to you, and you guys could list it on the site, and we could kind of build that relationship.
Yeah. So it's interesting. A lot of the people we talk to, service providers, refurbishers, smaller dealers, a lot of them, when we say, so what are you active in used equipment? Most of them have said, I was, and now I'm out of it. It was too hard to make money. And the reason it was so hard to make money is because eBay, like I said, the good and the bad, the risk discount is so strong where you need to price it so low because the customer doesn't know if you're the good or the bad. So you got to price it like you're the bad. We think that if you can sort through the good and the bad, the pricing doesn't need to be, the discounts don't need to be as strong, but the quality is there. So that's all that matters. So really, there's an opportunity for real profit there from the refurbisher side. And we hope to reinvent that wheel somewhat and get people more active in the space.
Yeah, this is really interesting to me because that's just the truth. We like I said, we refurbish it. I've had so much of it, and I actually worked with a local dealer, and he took a bunch of stuff and put it in the showroom. And I said, listen, if you sell it, I don't know, give me 10% of it or whatever, whatever it is, just to get it out of my warehouse because we refurbish so many things, and I put stuff on eBay. A lot of it sits, and like you said, sometimes I ship it. It's just. I'm not really making any money on it for the time invested. And then, so I wonder, this could be something interesting as a partnership, maybe through the Fed group with all the servicers there,
love that.
putting something together.
And lastly, it's the sustainability. I mean, there's no reason if a large chunk of restaurants go out of business pretty early in their life cycle. It's lightly used equipment. There's no reason for that to go to the junkyard. It should be reinvented and put back into the system. There's no reason to create that waste. Sustainability, save the world. So
yeah, absolutely. And and this, like you said, coming away from the eBay stuff, I mean, that's not really industry. That's not industry. It's just eBay. Yeah. Something like this, I feel, and I'm kind of getting excited as I talk about it because I want to be in the refurb business where we actually could clean it up and certify it and get stuff out there, because I know there's a major business for that. There's a major market for that.
Yeah.
We should probably talk more about how we could connect and partner a little bit on that spectrum with all the people, all the service guys, especially that are going to be watching. And again, it's industry, so it's like that core. We know we're getting. The people that we're going to be working with. It's that backed by people that know and care.
Right. We're going to come out and make sure you know what you're talking about, know what you're doing, have a certified process in place to refurbish equipment. And we're not going to be easy on that. So we want to make sure you're an industry guy. The diagnostics that need to be run, the repairs that need to be run. We're emphasizing the use of OEM parts that come from the manufacturer and making those repairs. So we think that these are all important things that can sort through the garbage that exists on eBay and to find these really top quality refurbishers where you really, it's going to be hard for you to tell without looking at the model number if the product is pre-owned or not. And the experience has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, no, this is all good stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad we connected because I was not aware of FSX up until we started talking not too long ago. And, I think we're going to probably bring this to light to a lot of people. So it's innovative. It's not just your normal regular, online thing. There's actual, there's different things behind it. And, and again, I was even looking, I know we touched on it, the tabletop, the smallwares, all these things. So there's quite a bit of.
Yeah. We're not just equipment. I think equipment's the pre-owned segment and the scratch and dented is really relevant within the equipment side, but we got a lot of discontinued and overstock stuff from top quality brands, Steelite, Oneida, Bauscher, tabletop items. We got Cambro. We got a lot of quality stuff in the smallwares and tabletop category.
Yeah. I'm seeing some Equipex panini grills.
And that's where the discounts are really strong. That's where you get those 70, 80, 90% discounts.
Yeah. And oh my God, I mean, those things are needed. I mean, people are out here making sandwiches. We have to get the people the equipment. So
breaking plates and cups and just come to FSX, get some new ones.
That's it. The price is right.
Yep.
So I think we have another comment here. Was that Lori? PKI available for all these needs. Ben will travel, strong on follow-up and customer services. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks, Lori. What else? What else we got going on here? We're at the 30-minute mark. I know you got a busy day ahead, but what else do we want to drive home before we take this down?
I mean, you talked about a lot of your listeners, followers are maintenance providers, guys who could be in the refurbish industry. So talked a lot about Tony. Reach out to Brenda. She runs the seller service side. She commented here before. She will answer any questions and getting you guys onboarded, figuring out if you guys are qualified to be sellers on the site. Like I said, it's not just sign up. We're making sure that you're qualified. And she will do all the heavy lifting that's needed to get your product up and running on the site. And then our marketing team will do everything that's needed to create those sales.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. And with the Fed Nation, Fed Network, Chris Rowling, he said, good conversation. He's interested to know more about this and how maybe Oasis could be a partner. So he's down in Florida. Quentin is down in Virginia. Matt, Quentin has a question. I think, yeah, there you go. Matt, do you buy used equipment and small wares from other dealers?
So we don't buy anything. So we're a marketplace. Think of similar to eBay. We talked about it a bunch, but industry specific, customer focused, quality, trust. But otherwise, think of it like eBay. You're loading product on our site. Our customer service and marketing team is getting those sales for you. So you could load your product on the site, and we just would need to be comfortable that the used equipment that you're putting on the site is functional, working. You guys have a process where you did the diagnostics, did the repairs, etc. And it's not just stuff that's sitting in the warehouse that could be a dud, could be a lemon or not. We want to make sure it gets to the customer and it works. No other work's needed, and it's up and running.
Yeah, and that goes back to, like you said, you're checking. This is not just, hey, I'm going to sign up for an account and I got it, I'm in.
Yep.
It's not that easy. This is exclusive. This is, exclusive type stuff for people, for companies that are doing it right and that can actually make these certified refurb repairs or certified pre-owned repairs, whatever you want to call it.
Well, used small wares could be an option. We don't have any used small wares on the site today, but if the stuff is in decent shape and functionally working, which I'm sure it is since it's small wares, then we'd be open to a conversation for sure. Reach out to Brenda.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And like I said, these restaurants that are opening, unfortunately, it's a tough business. They don't all last, and they could be closed up within 6 months. And that's, if you're watching those auctions and you're watching all those different things, that's a big market out there for that. You find those small wares. I mean, they've been hardly used. Why not?
For
Someone else can benefit from them instead of just throwing them in the garbage. So yeah, I love it. I appreciate you joining us on the live.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah. Killed it. You killed it. We're gonna go to fsxmarket.com. That's been scrolling across the bottom of the screen the entire live. The food service exchange. Definitely a place for, because again, service companies, we don't relatively sell a lot of equipment, but we do sell some equipment. We work with dealers and reps in our area. This is, especially in today's day and age, I think it's a great place to go if your customer is looking for something and, the manufacturer might be telling you, 6 to 8 weeks, 14 weeks, we go check it out. We might find something that we need on FSX. Yep. that could really help a customer out in these tough times. So,
and reach out if you guys have questions. I mean, this isn't the man behind the screen or Wizard of Oz. We're real people, real industry people who saw a void in the market and created something. So if it's our CEO Roger or Brenda, Tony, we got a whole team. Reach out, and then. On the industry side, Keith Jaffee, Jack Mervis, who spent his career at Trimark, reach out and we'll answer any questions and get you guys either buying or selling on our site as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and keep in mind these are people that have been in the business. They know the industry. This is a strong place to come to feel confident. So I think that's important. And we're going to go to help@fsxllc.com if we want to start a chat there. Go to the site and start a chat. fsxmarket.com, scrolling across the bottom of your screen the entire live. I appreciate the time and the insight.
Thank you.
Yeah. What else now? What else is going on? So you're in Chicago, Bears fan?
It's been tough recently.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a Giants fan.
I've been Packers I'm a trader. I know. About 15 years ago, I went Packers, but if Justin Fields is good, I'll trade back. I got no pride.
There you go.
What about you? Giants, Jets?
I'm a Giants fan. It's been real bad. It's been real bad.
Yep.
We got Danny Dimes out there. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that guy, but
You should be.
yeah. I wanted to give him a chance, but I'm running out of chances with this guy. I think we need to look at a new quarterback. What else? What's your favorite fast food place to go to?
Chicago, probably Portillo's. Have you been to Portillo's?
I have.
Yeah.
I think I had the beef sandwich there.
Oh yeah, best beef, best hot dogs. Checks all the Chicago boxes.
Yeah,
that's the pizza.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, I guess we'll take this down one more time. We're gonna go to fsxmarket.com and listen, Fed Nation, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching, if you're watching live on the replay, could be an opportunity for you if you're doing refurbished equipment, certified repairs, and you're getting stuff and you have stuff sitting in your warehouse, and it's time to reach out to Matt and the team. I think we could probably start moving some equipment, making some sales, and helping out some customers across the country. I think it's important.
If you have any questions, if there's a product you want that's not there, or you just want to talk, and reach out. We're available.
Yeah. It's always that's the one thing. It never hurts to talk. You just don't know what opportunity might rise from it. So I talk about that all the time. So all right, Matt.
Thank you very much,
brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody at FSX. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be in touch soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.